What famous place is not worth visiting? Times Square on New Year's Eve. Just forget it. It has never been worth it. Plymouth Rock in Plymouth, MA. It's literally just a small rock. Me, an Egyptian. Ah shit, here we go again. Land's End, UK. Heralded as the fourth most disappointing attraction in the UK. It's not even disappointing enough to win an award. Hollywood Walk of Fame. Dirty ass street with cheap shops and homeless everywhere. Only nice spot was near the theater. I work close to Times Square in Manhattan. If you have an ad blocker on your computer, you will hate Times Square. You can see Mount Rushmore perfectly fine from the road. No need to pay to see it. Egypt, they treat tourists like garbage. Niagara Falls is a really cool sight, but it's not worth a trip if you're staying on the American side. The Canadian side is way better and has more things to do. Mall of America. It's literally just a giant mall with the same stores as a small mall. Sometimes even the same store twice. Mannequin Pies in Brussels. So tiny and bonus with a lot of people hiding the sight. The only fun part is that he's dressed differently at points. While the Louvre is amazing and can consume entire days of walking, don't bother fighting the crowds to see the Mona Lisa. It's tiny and has a crowd of tourists dozens deep all taking pictures. No flash photography, be damned. So all you see is flash reflecting off the protective glass. Also, rumor has it that the real Mona Lisa is in a basement and that the one you see is just a very convincing replica. Checkpoint Charlie in Berlin. It used to be the border between the US and Soviet sectors. But all that's left of it is a shack and a sign. And the only thing you can do is pay to get your photo taken with someone in uniform. There's a frickin' McDonald's next to it. Maybe less famous than the question meant. But about 15 years ago my friends and I took a road trip to Centralia, Pennsylvania. The abandoned town with a decades-long mine fire burning under it that the Silent Hill movie was loosely based on. We thought there would be tons of abandoned buildings to look at, creepy places to see, adventure to be had. We were so excited. And we were like 6 or 7 hours away, so it sounded like a fun trip. We got there, and there was just nothing. All of the buildings are gone. The creepiest thing we found was a very well taken care of cemetery. And the only really abandoned thing to see was the stretch of interstate that had been routed around, which had a little bit of fun graffiti on it back then. But in years since it's become just a giant paint stain. We ended up driving to Gettysburg instead and going on some ghost tours. So it was still a fun trip. But there was like nothing to see in Centralia at all. Dubai. Hollywood. I don't mean in the colloquial sense, but rather the actual neighborhood. The neighborhood includes the Walk of Fame and the Chinese Theater. The neighborhood is sketchy, dirty, filthy, disorganized, high crime, and just plain icky, and has been that way since at least the 1950s. The absolute worst period was from the mid-1970s to the mid-1990s. But the neighborhood just sucks less today. Hell, there's a big reason that the residents of West Hollywood literally seceded from any association with the Hollywood community, and formed their own municipality in 1984. There are plenty of fun entertainment industry-related things to do throughout the Los Angeles area. In Hollywood, as the world understands it, just not Hollywood proper. Dubai is a twisted parody of everything wrong with modern society, and I judge anyone who goes there for their Insta pics. Hollywood. I took a trip while I was stationed in California and it was the most absolute disgusting place I've ever seen. Besides the homelessness issue there, you'll find trash all over the streets and just small businesses. I'm sure when there's a big event going on, the city cleans up for a day. But it just looked like shit when I went. Cairo. Leaning Tower of Pisa. Just a small town without much going on. Then a ton of tourists pretending to hold it up. Go to Florence instead.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.